Are there times when you feel there is something missing in your life? You may have moments of joy and laughter, but you also have a feeling of sadness or emptiness inside. We live in challenging times, filled with change and disruption. Let's talk today about the day-to-day joy and work of living our lives and the magic and mystery of starting brand new. This is a story about new beginnings. Today, in the power of spiritual artistry. You have heard it before, probably a million times. The only constant in life is change. There is no escaping it, no denying it, and it is futile to resist it. Everything changes. Life is in constant motion. So, why do we keep resisting it? How does change make you feel? Do you embrace change or do you deny it? George lives in this nice, comfortable world. He has always been a religious guy, but that religious turned to spiritual when a man in the cloth disappointed him. He searched and searched for God in different places. He doesn't remember where, but during one of those practices, something came up for George. His concept of Trinity transformed from Father, Son, and Holy Ghost to body, mind, and spirit. He noticed that his mind was in a state of constant thinking and seldom rested. So he searched for the voice of his spirit. He found his spiritual artist in this spirit voice. Do you recognize the difference between your mind voice and the voice of your spiritual artist? Are you willing to listen to that voice, even if it means leaving your comfort zone? Is it possible that this voice, the voice of your spiritual artist, is in fact the voice of God in you? It was during his 40th birthday that George got the offer to move to a new country. He dismissed it several times, saying he would rather be the head of a mouse than the tail of a lion. But that was his mind speaking. His spiritual artist knew better. It was this voice of spirit that had led George on a path that made this offer even possible. It was a dear and wise friend, like a mentor figure to George, that seeing how he was searching and all the options that he had for him in life, told him to consider the move. It is the only option I would want you to seek, he said. This changed everything for George. He finally admitted that this is what his spirit voice was saying to him. He just was afraid and didn't feel ready. He didn't want to leave his loved ones behind. He didn't want to start new at such an advanced age in life. But George followed the voice of his spiritual artist and embarked on an adventure and changed not only his zip code, but his entire life. For almost 10 years he struggled, learned about lack, which he had never felt before. This made him stronger. Learned about humility and how fear keeps it away from us. Today, George is walking the path towards his dreams. He is living a life of service to others, and his heart is not filled with void and emptiness anymore. His dreams are now possible. His life has so much more offerings now, and his dreams are just a reach of the hand away. All this because he faced his fears and listened to the voice of his spiritual artist on top of his noisy and loud mind voice. My invitation to you this moment of this year is to embrace new beginnings. Don't be afraid of it. Keep in mind, it will not always, in fact seldom, look like something you are comfortable with. Lao Tzu said that new beginnings are often disguised as painful endings. So let me offer some reflections as you embrace your new beginnings. Don't wait until you're ready. Ready only happens after you start. And more important than ready is willing. Don't give in to fear. Remember, fear is just the unknown creeping into your mind. It always goes away as soon as you get to the light. Remember this quote: we must be willing to get rid of the life we have planned so as to have the life that is waiting for us. The old skin has to be shed before the new one can come. End quote. That was by Joseph Campbell. And always remember what C.S. Lewis said: there are far, far better things ahead than any we leave behind. Thank you for joining us. I am Reverend Tuto, and this was The Power of Spiritual Artistry. See you next time.